Hi there, welcome to some more breaking news on the Noah Presgrove case and community. The father of Noah, known as Victor Presgrove, has broken his silence and spoken out, urging people from Noah Presgrove's army to leave and walk away and join the Justice page because that's the only place to go to, as well as Victor calling out Justin Roy now. So Justin Roy under attack once again from another Presgrove family member. What is going on? We're going to be looking at all that today, and even from Dusty's point of view too, from her perspective. In a way, indirectly, it does appear that the Presgrove Army Page is under attack from some of the Justice for Noah Presgrove Page family members. And in a way, kind of vice versa. In their own ways, each group or each people may feel under attack in certain ways. And can we get to the bottom of that? Maybe not just yet, but stick around long enough and we'll try and understand and get a better idea as to what's going on. Welcome to those that are watching this live premiere. Share your thoughts and opinions, reactions in the live chat box on the right hand side of the screen. And in general, whether you're watching on replay or you want to share your thoughts at the end of watching this, leave your comments down below under this video. It does help with spreading awareness, and the extra discussions can help people along the way. Questions being answered, learning new information and bits and bobs along the way. If you do want to support this channel, as example, in the comment section down below, pinned comment, you will find some links there if you want to support the channel. If you simply want to catch up on recent videos by me, as well as the video that I did earlier on, top right corner of the screen where the I symbol is, click up there and you'll be able to find it, as well as the full playlist. What I do want to say as a heads up, by now 2 videos would have come out. Should there be a third one? Originally I anticipated that. I may or may not edit the post earlier on. Might be worth doing that and just give a heads up right now. The reason why is because I wanted to split it apart and look at it, but with what's going on in the themes, because it's relevant all at once, it might as well just be all put together in one video, okay? So 2 videos is more than enough, because I did take into consideration, I already mentioned it earlier in the post, that more than 2 videos, I'm screwed. People aren't going to get notified. YouTube's going to punish people, punish me. Not worth it, is it? Try and keep that momentum, try and keep that growth, but also try and keep the awareness of the case without it being silenced by YouTube. So 2 videos is more than enough. So I'm rounding everything up within this video today. So stick around, it's about to begin. Let's head on over to Facebook and see what Dusty has to say first of all. Here we are, Presgrove's Army Page, Dusty Butler, 6 hours ago. This is pretty recent, right? As of today. What does Dusty have to say? Oh, just take it mine. I just wanted to add on in case people think I've forgotten. I haven't, but you know, there's a time for everything. Madison Rawlings, the sister of Noah Presgrove, has done a video herself on the Justice page. If I need to react or analyze it, I'll do that in a separate video, but let's just focus with this for now. Dusty says, good evening, everyone. As an admin to this page, I wanted to come on and address a few things. We are aware that some family members of Noah are upset and we have become the target of their anger. We have to remember this is a highly emotional weekend for them. We are okay if they are needing a target for their anger. Whilst I can understand that, at the same time, you shouldn't be a sponge for verbal or physical abuse. You think of the domestic situations. If you keep up with that mindset in a domestic situation, that's how you can become the victim. So let's just be somewhat realistic. Anyway, Dusty says, I don't believe it serves any purpose to attack Noah's family in any way. I cannot imagine being normal everyday people just trying to grieve and being thrown into the spotlight. Yes, they asked for public help, but I guarantee they never thought in their wildest dreams that it would get this much attention. But really, you reach out to the general public, the majority, for help because you may feel helpless in the moment. To be shocked that it would get so much attention, I mean, it's what happens when you do reach out to the general public. It depends the theme, of course. If you're trying to be a YouTuber and you're making videos for the general public, there's all kinds of algorithms and reach factors and stuff behind it in which people will watch or not. But when it comes to a sob story on YouTube, I have cancer, or supposedly have cancer, you see how fast their channels grow. Are they doing it all to benefit? No, because they want to spread awareness about an illness, their story, and help other people. And those that may have had similar encounters or know other people that have all gather together and relate. And that's where you get that community and growth in a healthy way. But nevertheless, you will get some people that fake having cancer. They get either donations or they get support and favour online. They get likes, they get views, they get subscribers, whatever it may be, and they can benefit. What it just goes to show is the general theme of a sad story can get quite a bit of attention. If a person appears vulnerable or very damaged in certain ways, the general public could feel very sorry or touched by it, so then they reach out, and then that's what spreads that awareness. If you had someone doing a video saying, "Oh, today I went outside and I saw a nice bird in the sky and it looked really nice," people are going to be thinking, whatever, and not bother. But if you go out and say, "I've got cancer, I've got 2 months left to live, I've got this and that needs to be done," and then people may relate more and connect. With a missing person case, it can apply the same way. With a true crime case, with a death of someone, it can go the same way. I'm not talking about the manipulation of it. I'm not saying this is a negative thing. What I'm getting at is a negative or saddening event triggers emotional, psychological reaction within the human race out there, and a certain target sample of humans will reach out and respond, and then the message is spread from there. So it's like with the Dylan Rounds case, those that were emotionally connected to the case and reached out and it spread across all worldwide is because it was the death of a son or the missing person of a son. So all families out there who've got a son or even a daughter who have gone through it themselves or not experienced it, but they do have a son or daughter, kind of relate, connect, feel what the family are feeling, that strong emotional connection. So more and more people who may have had experience in some way, similarities with that family who've lost a loved one, can connect better. And there's a wide range of people like that out there, and the word spreads about, it will spread out. And when someone reaches out and say, "Can you help me?" the chances of people helping, depending the theme, it can happen. Look at GoFundMe's, the genuine ones where people reach out for some kind of help or support, and then what people give and all that support shown, it really does go a long way. So with missing person cases or true crime cases, you've got to understand, give or take, that not every case goes the same way. Not every case is popular. It is a popularity contest at the end of the day. But if you do reach out to the general public and you're putting yourself out there, there is a fair chance, based off the theme, the emotional connection factors, that it will spread in a good way and get about. But what comes with a lot of good can come with bad. So like, more people that watch my videos, the higher the chance of negativity, toxicity. It happens. It's like with the more people you let into your country, the higher the chances that a few bad people will come in along the way. It happens. So you can say Dusty Butler is a good individual for trying to make sense of everything, and even if she has been attacked, still forgiving the family because of what's going on. It makes Dusty Butler a better individual than others. But let me tell you something. I don't know if Dusty Butler has seen my earlier video, but when Nat was discrediting Warlight Ref's coverage of this case, it appeared that Dusty Butler was in agreement with it, that Warlight Ref hasn't helped the case. Feel free to elaborate, Dusty Butler, only if you want to in the comments section, because you did seem to give a thumbs up approval to what Nat had to say. I'm just interested. It's always good to know where people lie. Not lie in you're lying, but lay where you're positioned within a case or community, and who do you look to, who do you not trust. It's always good that long term, because nothing worse than thinking that there are people about that are somewhat positive towards you, and then in the end you see a darker side to them. Let's get it over and done with, let's get out of the way, and then can proceed onwards. Either way, I'm going to be proceeding onwards anyway, because I can balance multiple plates at once. I've got it under control. other humans, maybe not so much. But let's just continue on for now and focus what Dusty's got to say here. Right. I have spoken in depth with Justin Roy throughout this process. I believe his heart and intentions are pure. I believe that he has made discovering the truth about that night his whole life this last year. It might be a little bit of an overstatement because you've got to take in mind, whilst online he could be very focused, Justin Roy will still have a life and responsibilities, and with having a family, you know, looking out for them too. So this is the thing, when it comes to online discussions, people can just say, oh, well, because you're so active or vocal here, then that's all you do. No, there are other things that go on in the background, day-to-day life and whatnot, whether it's big, small, a great amount or a little. There is still stuff going on in the background, and that will apply to Justin Roy, just like how it will apply to family members of Presgrove, getting on with stuff whilst also trying to grieve, whilst also wanting that closure. It's a balancing act. It's not just all one-sided. But anyway, what else? Discovering the truth. I think at the point it would be hard for him to just shut off. That's understandable. But I've watched him learn to be a lot more reserved and control his passionate outcries. This is very difficult to do when you are so invested in a fact-finding mission. But this is the thing, you know, it can be hard for people like that. If you're not emotionally connected to a case, but you are interested, you can do a pretty good job at it in understanding the different points of views and perspectives and theories. The moment you're emotionally connected to a case, there can be conflicts of interest at times, and it can be harder to control yourself. Not that it's their fault, but it can happen. I've seen it extensively in the past with the Kenny Veach case, with the Dylan Rounds case, over-emotional humans, heavily emotionally invested into cases because they relate to it, they feel it within, whatever, but they don't see everything. Tunnel vision, sometimes blind by the truth, sometimes not wanting to admit the dark reality. But someone like me who's not emotionally connected, I can look at it deeper, I can go deeper and see more things and question more stuff, and it doesn't impact me. And that's just being honest. Anyway, all of this to say, we will continue to pray for justice for Noah and his family. We'll pray for discernment. We'll pray for the truth that will come to the light from the darkness that surrounds this case. We will pray that the family will feel the love that these pages have brought towards Noah and that their pain be set free. Above all, we will continue to demand truth and fight for justice. Every moment of today, I have thought about the events of Noah's last day. As each hour on the clock strikes, I think this is what was going on at this time. As each passing hour leaves this day, it's getting closer to when Noah took his last breath. For these last moments, we'll go silent tomorrow. We'll not approve any new post until Tuesday morning. We wish for you all to do something in honour of Noah tomorrow, whether it's to spend the day with a loved one or buy someone's meal in line behind you. We ask that you bless someone tomorrow with kindness and love however you see fit. So it'll go silent on the page, fair enough. As for me, I might do a video here and there on my channel, because take in mind, not that it's happened, but I just want to make one thing extremely, extremely clear. No matter who it is, no matter where they're from and what online page they come from, if a single human comes my way and tells me what I can and cannot do, and it's a member of the general public, just a civilian, and they say, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, or, you know, at the end of the day, YouTube is its own platform. My channel is my own channel. The whole bit about certain videos being posted on Facebook and people not seeing eye to eye with my videos, people attacking me, discrediting me, maybe slandering my name and whatnot, and some don't even apologise, which is very typical because people don't want to admit full responsibility unless it's 50-50, but it's not like that here. At the end of the day, and I'll just say it one more time in case people didn't hear, I don't post, I don't reshare my videos onto Facebook. Other people do. They make the choice themselves because they feel it's necessary, it's important, it's vital, it's critical, it's interesting, whatever. So credit to all the people that have shared my videos, good individuals who have done that, much appreciated. But obviously, the more it's shared, resistance can come with it. But if people start attacking me saying, why are you sharing this and why are you sharing that? I'm not. Other people are. They're making the choice to do so. Reddit is an exception because there's an understanding there with some key individuals in the background. But you get what I'm saying? Because with my videos, my coverage, it's on YouTube, different platform, and it's on my channel. My channel, my videos, my time schedule, etc. People can watch, people don't have to watch, whatever. But it's very simple, isn't it? But if humans started telling you what you can and can't do, it sounds a bit silly, isn't it? Because are they a creator? No. Are they on a different platform? Yes. The exceptions will be when key individuals in the background say, step down because you're really harming the case or for legal reasons. I understand that, but that's never happened. Not happened in other cases. And supposedly in the background, these videos, this channel, the coverage proved of. And what other humans need to be aware of is when it comes to my channel is not the be-all and end-all for Noah Presgrove. It's not the be-all end-all for Dylan Rounds. There's elements, this channel is a hybrid. It looks at different cases and mysteries over time. Once I find one and I'm comfortable with and I'm interested in, I lock on, I keep it alive, I spread awareness, I make sense of stuff, I either reinforce things or dispel stuff with time, I make predictions. Hybrid, more than what other people would think. So there's that. Just wanted to add in these little points along the way, not relevant to what Dusty is saying here, but it just made me think indirectly about other stuff, because I just remember I had third-party representative pegging parrots on my shoulder and vultures in the past, but were telling me, no, don't do this, don't do that, go here, go there. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, are you my social media manager? Are you in control of my channel? No, you're not. Piss off. Things like that. I thought I'd just acknowledge it. Right, what else do we have here? Is there anything else? Approved post, choose Monday. Okay, let's just see the comments out of interest. Why is Noah's family asking for us to unfollow this page? What happened? Can you please explain? There we go. And Dusty says, we honestly do not know at this moment, but respect anyone's decision. I'm going to... Oh, let's just see what's going on here. We honestly do not know, but respect anyone's decision to leave the page. Katie Brown says, respectfully saying, I'm not going to leave this group. This group has brought me attention to getting justice served for Noah and his family. I know most of us can agree to disagree sometimes. As for myself, I'm not going to fuss with anyone. I'll continue to support this group to get justice. Was it Katie Brown who I saw earlier in my early video? Maybe. Interesting. Is it only one family member or more? A handful from the looks of it. Kelly, love what you're putting out Noah family. Justice for Noah. Sally, when you decide to sit with someone in their grief, you have to take all the grief they may bring, even anger towards you. I support the family 100%, and if supporting them means I read some things that are hurtful, that's okay. We can be strong, so may continue to heal. Jasmine says, I'm really confused about what's going on, but I'm in a few groups about Noah and his passing to get a more well-rounded view of it all. Fair enough, it makes sense that. I don't wish to take sides nor leave the groups because I believe that all could play a part in finding the truth. That's a good mindset to have, Jasmine. From my experience in the Dylan Rounds case, there was a lot of side taking, and certain channels and key members higher ups that were demanding or expecting the audience to follow one channel to support and bow down to one channel only, and that if they went anywhere else they would get attacked for doing so. Some claiming to be doxed, others harassed in the background, called whatever. Very silly, petty situation. You go where you want to go online. If you feel the need to do so, no pressure. All I ever say is, whenever humans make the decision to go elsewhere, I just hope that if you do come back, you don't change in your behaviour and personality, because I've seen it already in the past. We don't need repeats of that, because it can get very, very messy, can't it? But with what Jasmine says here, understandable, well-rounded view, see it from different perspectives. Like, look at it this way. The justice page, more moderated, a bit more strict, not as much information coming out, but maybe when it does, it's more hard-hitting and it's more truthful. Let's just put it that way, up to a certain point. And then when it comes to the more informal pages, whether that be Reddit or if it be Facebook, that can be about new, interesting discussions, some potential truth in stuff which could be really hard-hitting, if not more. And also reflecting on the past as well, in case stuff has been forgotten about, reposting, which is helpful too. Providing there is like a source behind it and relevancy as to when it happened in the moment. You know what I'm saying? Anyway. Prayers. Anything else was said? I think people are extra sensitive, and I'm not talking about the family, just friends or even supporters. It's very disheartening and confusing in recent post all the groups. Everyone wants to defend or have an opinion. I'd made a comment that was in no way meant in how it was taken last night, and just realised if it tracks from the point or from supporting, it's not a discussion worth having. I'm happy to see you support the family even now. That's what we care about just as for now. This is the thing, I've done my own videos, given my own thoughts on my own bloody channel, away from all of these pages and things online. My channel, my videos, my discussions, right? And if people want to listen in, the kind of people want to add on or counter, they can in the comment section, freedom of speech. But as the fact is that I gave different viewpoints and perspectives, and people jumped on to an impetuous bandwagon, assuming that I am a part of the Stevie Howard family, or that I'm a part of the corrupt LE. Come on. And you know why some of it came about is simply because I was giving an alternative perspective, which people thought it was in support of someone else. And at the time when I was critical, not exactly critical, but just being realistic with language and wording of Caden Pressey, people got triggered by it. See, it's the thing, there are delusional humans out there within this case that may put certain people on a pedestal, so that then any of the general public that may speak negatively of that person, or it's like, how could you do that? You are an enemy of the people. You're a bad person for saying anything negative about that person. This person is on a pedestal. This person's perfect. You can't say anything bad about them. Everything you do say has to be positive. That's unrealistic. That's not good. No, it's not. Let's move on. What's this? Poiler. Wow, what an insensitive jerk. How dare he compare Noah's family's feelings and being upset this time of the year? Who cares how he feels? What the hell's this all about? I don't know. And to you, Alex, if you don't care about how much they feel, why the hell are you trolling this group? Alex, what? What's this all about? See, this is the other problem. It might be a mistake, but I've seen it countless times now, just in general, even just on my channel, where people will leave comments where they should have responded to someone in the comment section, but they didn't hit the reply button, so they just post an outright comment on my channel. So the way they are wording, when they say you, like you're the problem, it sounds like they're saying it to me. And that's happened at times. What they were referring to was someone within the comment section, maybe on a different page, a different video, or in the same video post, but they failed to hit the reply button. See, you see how confusing and unnecessary things can get, but I'm just going to read it. At first, I wasn't too sure if it was about another post elsewhere, which we were going to get to anyway, but I'll read this now because I don't know who the hell Alex is. But Paula says, what an insensitive jerk. How dare he compare Noah's family's feelings and being upset this time of the year? Who cares how he feels if it was him or his loved ones thrown on the side of the road? Who is he? Why are we saying he? Who's he? Stripped of clothes in his life. Makes me wonder if he isn't one of the heartless, soulless, evil, cowardly murderers. Who? His comment is making my blood boil. Who? It's people like him and the other evil and jealous imps that should be thankful that Noah's family is letting the LE do the investigation, because I can tell you if it was me at mine, I would have taken matters into my own hands if it took me the rest of my life to make each and every one of them suffer. Each and every one suffer the same exact fate that heaped upon Noah and his family. Who? And no, I'm not turning into an owl, but I don't know what the hoot is going on here. Right. I would take, okay. I feel like being the judge and jury every day to them like they were to Noah. Sorry for the long post, but the comment got me harder. Which comment, though, than any comment so far? And to you, Alex, if you don't care about how they feel, why the hell are you trolling this group and the family pages anyway? There's an opinion option to take yourself out of the groups. Karma is witch? You mean a bitch? And you and the rest of Jack's minions have had some bad karma coming y'all's way. If not soon, it will come, and it serves you all to have looking over your shoulders from now on. What else is there? Oh no, we got the capital letters. Oh no. It'll come and serve you to live looking over your shoulders from now on. At least you all are still living. Sorry to the group for the long rant, but Justin and everyone that is in these groups legitimately are working and prayer for justice for this amazing man, his beautiful family. In capital letters, here we go. Justice is coming, and we're telling you it's coming sooner than you think. And I can't wait to see who gets arrested first and who long before they start singing like a canary. It's coming, and I bet you can feel and smell the hot breath of the hounds howl coming after y'all. Again, I do apologize for the bug here, but the pissed, ignorant people just don't realize how much a comment like this only increases the luck of the guilt. Noah, sweet boy, you fly high there in the heavenly home, and we all feel the peace you send knowing you looking for us all. Our very own special guardian angel. We the people. Take in mind it's in capital letters, so how else are you supposed to infer from this? If humans get triggered by this tough shit, type in lowercase. Capital letters is not necessary. That's only said in advance in case anyone does try to counter me. Many steps ahead. Supposedly there are more capital letters on my YouTube channel in one of the comment sections, and I might have to do another response video to that of a certain individual if they don't clear things up. So what the hell's going on? And that's pretty much it. So Dusty understands the situation, or at least trying to, with the whole resistance, but it might be a bit one-sided. There might be certain general public people that understand the pain of what the family's going through and maybe indirectly taking it out on the wrong people because of it being a very tense time and upsetting. But do the family members see it from the other perspective as well, or is it one-sided, like I said? Well, to try and make sense of what the hell's going on, let's at least look at it from what the father of Noah Presgrove had to say just recently, Victor, in response to Justin, in response to this army page. Here we are, Victor Presgrove, 9 hours ago, a bit later back, Justice for Noah Presgrove family run page. So I'm guessing Victor is a part of this page. So is Madison Rawlings, who's done a video just recently. I'll have to catch up on that later because there's a lot going on right now. All Victor has to say here, he does add on in the comment section, so don't go anywhere. Victor says, to everyone out there that truly loves or care about Noah, please, if you're on this page and on the Army for Noah page, please get off that page. The Army of Noah is nothing but lies and hate, and the administration is doing it because he is part of it. Who is he is part of it? That's a reference to Justin Roy from the looks of it. But let me tell you something once again, just in general. People say he and she and he. And it was Nat earlier on that said to me that I'm saying he and she said, he said bullshit. What the hell? We turn into a rap. We're not that limp just yet. We need to get a grip of ourselves by the shafts and stand up in the name of we the people. Let's make one thing very clear. As best to my ability, what I do, which separates me from most humans, is I don't say he or she. If there's a name available, I will say it. And if there is a source available, I will try to provide it. But when we get instances like this, where they're talking in code or in riddle, or they're limited with what they're saying, they're not directly mentioning the person's name, but they're saying either he or she, just a gender, it just doesn't help. For new people that come along, they're not going to fully understand what's going on here, are they? But I get an idea it's about Justin Roy and that situation ongoing. So Justin Roy feels attacked by Robin Smith, the aunt, and Ashley Chadwick, one of the cousins of Noah. But now also under attack by Victor Presgrove. It just doesn't seem too good, does it? Unless things have boiled over and it's only coming publicly now. But nevertheless, we need to document this just to see how things go. Because maybe once the dust has settled, what will be the atmosphere then? What do you call this? Like a mutiny or a plea? Don't take it the wrong way, but like emotional blackmail. You know, anyone out there, if you truly care about Noah, then you won't be participating on that page. Get off right now if you truly care. Because if you're on that page still, then clearly you don't care. Because that page, in the words of Victor, is nothing but lies and hate. Which is problematic because there have been instances where the page has been talking about information from partners in true crime or from the justice page, what's been stated there by family members. So if at times the Army page relays information that comes from the Justice page and Victor is saying everything from the Army page is lies, then that would mean that what's reposted from the Justice page onto the Army page about the Justice page is lies as well. Language and wording is very important and goes a long way. Contradictions clearly shown. And yes, emotional times, so people won't be thinking clearly, maybe a bit more impetuous than usual. But as said, someone needs to not be emotionally connected to be able to witness everything and make sense. And that's why one is present. But let's see. Response-wise, there's 200 comments. There's a lot to get through, but we'll just read out the important pieces, the ones that stand out the most. So just bear with me. Pam, but a different Pam from the looks of it, says, who is this administration from the Presgrove Army page? And Victor Presgrove says, Justin Roy. Justin Roy, a liar. That's quite strong words to say about Justin Roy, that has been around early on, making sense of the case and covering it online. So some really bad stuff must be going on in the background for someone like Victor and others to think this way. And it's interesting how they say the administration and Victor singles out Justin Roy, when in actual fact, when it comes to the admins on the Army page, it's more than one person. And yet Justin Roy is singled out. But nevertheless, let's just see what's mentioned here. Krista, I was previously kicked off the page. He acted like he had the family's support with his investigation. And Victor says Justin Roy is a piece of shit. These are strong words coming out. You could understand from the opposite perspective that Justin Roy could feel hurt, shocked, confused by all this going on, especially if himself, and it's based off what's actually happening, this hasn't come to light before and it's only happening now. For anyone, if it just comes out of nowhere, it's a shock. I mean, my own individual experiences on a smaller scale, when people have turned on me and said stuff about me or behind my back, and it's out of nowhere, it's like, whoa, has that been boiling away in the background? What's going on? But the argument against Justin Roy by the likes of Robin Smith and Ashley Chadwick is all hell and stuff has been going on in the background and there's been trouble in the past. And it's happening once again, but this time it's public. Wow. Very interesting. So there's certain Presgrove family members that may agree with Justin Roy or get on okay with him in a neutral way, but then there are other Presgrove family members that detest Justin Roy. Wow. But it's interesting how Victor is going in on Justin Roy. What does Victor Presgrove think of Jack Newton then, and some others? Maybe Victor has been vocal in the past, but I wasn't around then. Just as a heads up. Now, why was Krista kicked out at the Army page? What was that all about? Krista, I'm so sorry you have to go through this. Victor says to Kathy, you want to go there? Who's Kathy? Where's Kathy's comment? Must have got deleted. Jack, examples please. Victor says, if you want to stop by and talk, come on. What does that mean? Oh, that's to Billy. I don't know where Billy's comment is. That doesn't seem to show here either. Lynn, I did leave that group a few months ago. Only one theory is pushed and that makes the group just a waste. What is that one theory? What is Lynn talking about here? The one theory of murder and dumps on the highway. Is that really what it's about? Maybe. But then what about the other pages out there? What about the Sofa Sleuth group, all in about the hit and run? Or certain people are. Isn't that just as bad? Now, me, on the other hand, I've got my own channel on a different platform. And I look at each theory, each possible outcome. Now, I might not be doing it as fast these days, but that's because there's so much going on in this case. You know, you want to keep up with the latest news, and then other stuff gets put on the sideline. You know, you can't do everything all at once. Sherry says, God bless you and your family. I'm very confused about all that has been going on lately, and these pages, out of respect for you and all of Noah's loved ones, I will leave that page. So you're leaving because someone tells you to leave. That could imply that Sherry has been emotionally blackmailed into doing so because Victor has said, if you truly care about Noah, you will step away from that page. And I think that's a little bit unfair in a way. But then again, let's just try and understand it from the alternative perspective in a different scenario. You had Jan Friorillo that had those posters, leaflets and flyers. Whether it was directly her creation or other ones similar, where it was saying, speak up, you know, you people who know what's gone on, are you going to let Noah down? Are you going to neglect him? Are you going to forget justice? Are you going to speak up and do what's right? You know, things like that. Persuasive language, but also a bit of emotional blackmail too, to make people feel bad for their decisions or lack of decisions, in hopes of making them speak up or change their actions and ways in life. It kind of like applies here as well. But, you know, if you're a member of the general public, you have the freedom of speech to an extent. You have a freedom of where you go online, whether you go to this page, that channel, listen on in. If a page, a location is a problem, well, then you should be focusing on the root cause and not the people that come along just to listen in or watch, because people are trying to get a full understanding of what's going on. Of course, it does make sense to go to the family run page, because you think that's where all the truth is at. And with what the family's saying, what they've been told, then relaying it onto the page, it sounds like a good thing. But then some people may want their back or itch being scratched, and it's not happening anytime soon because the progress or the distribution of information may be at a slower rate because it can't all be released at once, but people still want those ongoing discussions, talks, theories, outcomes, and possible rumours in the background, providing appropriate language is used, so they'll go elsewhere for that to fill that void, especially times of silence. If you take that away from them, then it's like, well, what else do I do? Where else do I really go? Why should people be controlled where they can and can't go online? It starts becoming a bit of a dictatorship in a way, a bit unnecessary. And it just reminds me of the Dylan Rounds case, where it got very unnecessary at times. You should be able to go wherever you want. But if you are like a creator, you got a certain responsibility or a certain audience, and you might get information or stuff from elsewhere, you just got to try and make sure you word it as best as you can if you're relaying it or reconstructing it in your own way of understanding. So it's like the Brooke Bounds-Carter video in the threat. Whereas people are saying, oh, but it's from the past, it's not new. The actual discussions and conversations and reactions about it as of recently is new. As for the acknowledgement of the petition and who actually agrees with it, that's new. So there is relevance to it. And as well, where it originally came from and where it was posted or reposted, the context or the full-on context was not provided at the time, and most people appeared and reacted like it was brand new. So you can't just pin all the blame on one outside individual that's seeing it. You know, if it's a problem, you should be looking at the root cause, the root problem. That's those that reposted it or posted it and didn't give the context. So there's a process to everything. You trace it back. It's like, I've just seen it too much, to be honest. I've got a good idea. What else do we have here? Confused as well. Uh-oh. Oh no. Oh no. My name's come up now. That's not good. Jesse says, I'm currently watching Warlight Raft's new video. I don't know if it has anything to do with this, but maybe. So, possibly my video has caused all of this. I don't think that's the case, but let's just see what goes on. Victor, thank you. Sherry says, I watched it and the message in it was from months ago, but matter, it was said it was wrong, just not new news unless I'm missing something. It's new news in terms of the reactions and responses and the add-ons and the possible links to the recent patterns of people stepping down and going quiet. There is a link to everything. Old news can become new news with the new discussions along the way, etc. As for the true context behind the post itself, well, that wasn't provided at the time by the horse's mouth, so it's unfortunate, isn't it? But don't worry, my video enabled the platform for Brooke Bounds-Carter to speak up and to clear the air. Whether people agree with it or not, it enabled people to witness in live action a response from the horse's mouth of the threatening message, which is what you want to see. Bring it back up, refreshing responses, new outlooks, and all kinds of stuff. But people may not see it that way. But what else do we have? Me too. Megan Rogers says, I will as well. I'm done with the page of the army. I think Megan may watch my videos in between, but we'll see what's going on here. You have left this group. Okay. What else? Which episode? Do you think the date it was aired? I think the one is that I have a hard time listening to reminds me of info commercial. It's just keep going on and before they get to the point, lol. But if you do have the information, would love to hear it. Thank you. Jessie Michelle Dean. Wait, what's this in response to? Currently watching Warlight Ref, and basically Jalen Renfro refers to my channel or videos of having a hard time listening to it, and it sounds like an info commercial. Don't worry, Jalen, if you want me to do an American accent all the way through a video or a cowboy one, I'm sure I can apply that, or I can do a Valley Girl. My God, need to get with the latest trends and get the creaky voice out of me. I need oiling. Oh my God, I need a Starbucks and a coffee. See, this is the thing. If people are saying the voice is flat or it's monotone, that's the true definition of focus. What humans fail to understand is that when it comes to Warlight Ref's voice, it can come in many different ways and many different shades, beyond 50. But let me make one thing real clear. If I'm to talk in a slightly monotone, boring voice, there is not much emotion expressed in those moments, right? And that's the most part of it. An emotionless state, well, that's like a microcosm of the fact that I'm not emotionally connected to the cases, meaning I can think more clearly, meaning I can question more, and I'm not blinded by delusionalism or fluffy clouds as other people are. Abstract art, how it's performed, how it's demonstrated, both vocally, body language, thoughts, and much more. It's all expressed and it all ties back and links. But maybe other people don't have that. Moving on. What else do we have? Never went on the page. It seemed sketchy to me, thinking of you and your family. Right, so it seems like quite a few people are strongly opinionated and don't like the Army Page. So, whilst you might get some on the Army Page that say, well, the family members taking it out on us, we can understand because it's a hard time. What I want to know for like Dusty Butler and some other admins over there, what do you think about the general public civilians with the same mindsets throwing shade at your page and having a go at your page and things have been lies and sketchy? Do you agree with that? Do you think that's fair? When the general public who aren't impacted the same way as the family are thinking the same way. That people on this page, how some may act, are like yes men, yes women. If you're told that you're a bad person, if you follow that, so then you must break away from it. Yes sir, yes master. Oh no, this is definitely sounding like the Dylan Rounds case. You should be able to think for yourself and do what you want to do, as long as it doesn't really harm the case. You know, if it's under control, you should be able to do what you do. But it seems like people are under control now, under a spell. The naturalness is going by the second. This is not good. It's like a chain reaction. Okay, what else do we have here? Absolutely. So Victor wants to spread the message that Justin Roy, in quotes, as a piece of shit. I said that's not from me, but that's what I think he said. Being Victor. Which groups would you recommend? Teresa, to be honest, Justice for Noah is ran by the family. That's where you get the honest information. The other groups aren't the best. I deleted a lot of them because I don't like shit was being said. You deleted the rest of them? You can't delete pages. You mean you left them? Come on, appropriate language and wording. But, interesting. From what Justin Roy has said and some others, is that some information that has been relayed from this page, the Justice Family Run one, relayed from here to onto the Army page, then Justin Roy's been called out for that information being incorrect by certain family members, but it was the family members that posted it in the first place on their own page. That does sound a little bit problematic. Maybe not everybody sees that. Anyway, Jill, thank you. I don't see a lot of the posts on either group I belong to be honest. They don't show up in my feed. Right? Yeah, it sucks. Snow Renee. What's this all about? A lot of opinions, but let's just get an idea. Snow says, Justin Roy runs that page and the family was aware of it, though. Tina, I think it's this one. Justin isn't over it. Isn't over it. What? 251 members, Noah Presgrove's Army. What is that page about? This page is only open for those truly interested in helping the family get justice. No wackos allowed. This means you, Justin. That was the fake page set up imitating Noah Presgrove's Army, in which supposedly some of the Howard family were a part of, Tim Howard being the one that created that page. Dodgy. Sherry, fake one, yeah. No, Renee, that's what I thought. I actually thought that he was part of the family. I've only been a member for a few months now. I'm so ashamed to have put the picture of Noah on my profile picture. I wish this could have been cleared up sooner out of respect for the family. I would have never done that. I mean, at least what I'm aware of, Justin Roy has never claimed to be a family member of Noah, just like a close friend. And that was introduced in the Partners in True Crime podcast interview with Justin Roy, and they had no problems interviewing him then. So do they have problems with him now as of his highlight? I wonder. See, this is what I find interesting. Either Ashley Chadwick or Robin Smith, I saw a comment, I think it was yesterday or the day before when I did my video, where basically they were saying how, all hell chaos in the background, but also it wasn't just police, it wasn't just investigators, even Partners in True Crime, the podcast, told Justin Roy to lay it off and to cool off, to not be so full on. Well, if Partners in True Crime had such a big issue with Justin Roy, how come that interview, which wasn't that long ago, went pretty well and they got on well? What's that all about then? Interesting. Sherry, I'm a member of both pages and quite confused. As for Noah's Army, there are so many good people in there that only want to help the family and get justice for Noah. As for Justin, again, I've no idea where all the anger is coming from. I did see last night that the family has told him to step back. In my opinion, Justin hasn't even said hardly anything for some time, and I was wondering why. I'll say that there are also many others that do spread false information, and that comes with being online. This is why I focus on what the family is talking about, just confused. I mean, you got misinformation and then disinformation. Disinformation is done on purpose with intent to cause and harm trouble. Misinformation is just as damaging, but not done in a malicious way. But, that's the thing. Let's not forget the past when warlike wrath was demonized like Satan. No, let's not go there, because What Not Coffee will go off on one of the satanic cults and rituals out there. My God. But no, let's refer back to the Daily Mail article of Tyler Hardy, where Mallory Hardy went off on one and other people did. Whether it was Mallory directly or some of the other commenters that called out warlike wrath. And at the time on Reddit, when some disgruntled people called out warlike wrath for misinformation, how could you do that, Wrath? You need to do better. Oh, I'm sorry, bitch. The time when I did it was after the article was edited, meaning it was cleared up by the time I got there, meaning there wasn't as much information as there was to begin with. And what I said in that video, and I'll reiterate once again, specific language and wording was used to try and make sense of what was being said, what was happening. It's a discussion, it's not stating it as a fact. Get it right, cretin. Things like that. People need to get a grip of themselves. And I was making sense of it in the moment. I was suggesting that maybe, as the Daily Mail implies with the language and wording and quotes, that they're turning this into an interview with the said individual, Tyler Hardy, even though that didn't happen, or it may have not have happened, but they've actually used the quotes and wording from what Tyler Hardy has said openly on Facebook, and then quoted it, requoted it, reposted it on their article to make it sound like it was coming directly from the horse's mouth, as in an interview, when it wasn't. Making an interview, faking one, but what was said, there's truth within it. So it wasn't truly misinformation, and by the time I got there, it was under control. But people didn't see it that way. People rushed ahead. Right? This is the problem with the human race at times when it comes to them dealing with warlike wrath. A little bit silly at times. But anyway, let's just focus back in here, because people might think you're going off subject. No, I'm not. There are links upon links upon links, and things like this remind me of other experiences and encounters, and it's always good to reiterate, because if you don't, history will repeat itself. Let's move on. Victor says, stop protecting him. So, Lisa Cooper, Lisa Cooper says, I've only been a member for 3 months. I'm ashamed to have put the picture of Noah on my profile picture. Wait, Lisa Cooper, I don't know, she's not really defending Justin, is she? And Victor's saying stop protecting him. What? Anyway, Sharon, thank you for pointing out the corruption on the other page. So Sharon, not the Sharon we know of on YouTube. This is a different Sharon, in case anyone does get confused. Not the Sharon across the street. No, this is a different Sharon. But saying that there is corruption on the army page. I don't think there's corruption. I think there's some very bold words coming out. It's not just from the family. There's a lot of interesting language being used. Wow. Very shocking. Again, show me an example where Justin Roy lies. That's what Jack says. Victor says, stick up for him, you piece of shit. So without giving evidence, without explaining it in a formal way, it's just name calling and insults. Not great. Lisa says, I'm so sorry. I would never protect or defend anyone's actions against you or your family. I'm so sorry for your loss, and I'm only here to support and help find justice for Noah and your family. And Victor says, thank you. So Victor said, Lisa, why are you protecting Justin? And Lisa's comment originally didn't come across as protecting Justin. Now Lisa feels bad anyway, even though she didn't really do anything wrong. Why does this sound like a lot of manipulative control and emotional blackmail and all kinds of control, yes men, yes women situations where people can't think for themselves? People have to feel bad for their actions or lack of actions because of what other people think and say. Oh, this is like the Dylan Rounds case. This is not good. This is really not healthy whatsoever. Anyway, Thomas, it's this page, Victor Presgrove talking about, not the one you posted, Mom. 6.8k members, yeah, so the real page with Justin Roy on being called out. Wrong one. It's this page Victor Presgrove is talking about. Oh, no. So people... Wait, what's it? 6.8k? Yeah. Why are people getting so confused? Why are people getting so confused? Wrong, it's Justin Roy's page he's talking about. Oh my goodness. I'm confused too. Everyone's confused? Bloody hell. So you telling me that the fake Presgrove Army page is still on Facebook as of right now? Because I tried asking and I can't remember if I did get an answer. I wasn't too sure if it was renamed, rebranded to the Sofa Sleuth group. Unless that's a separate page. Oh, no. Anyway. Shannon, that's not the one they're talking about. That leads to a different group. Oh, the Sofa Sleuth one, you mean. Jasmine, I'm very confused. How many army pages are there? 2. One is fake and leads you to the Sofa Sleuth page. There we go. Wasn't that difficult, was it? Anyway, Robin Smith, the aunt, has spoken up now, saying to Lisa, don't be ashamed. Any picture of Noah is a wonderful picture. I agree with you. Any picture of Noah is wonderful. Right. Let's move on. You shouldn't be having to go through this extra stress. Deborah, I'm on both pages. I'm praying for justice for Noah. I'm praying for his family. Gets to truth. Watch out, Deborah. You might start getting attacked by Victor if you want to be on that page from the attitudes here. I'm very sorry for all this. Right. This is one. No idea who the admins are anymore, but they're allowing people to post stuff bashing family members, which is very uncalled for. What I would like to know, what post are people talking about? What post are Hallie referring to? I mean, if these people don't like the page, but you seem to know a lot about it, then why are you over there then if you don't agree with it? Interesting. Very. Anyway. What post exactly about bashing family? Is this the moment where someone says in the comments, Warlike Wrath, exactly what's going on here with this video? This video is not directly bashing people in a witch hunt way. It's just a raw reaction to the behaviour and the attitudes of humans in this moment. If humans want to portray themselves in a negative light, that's their own doing. When it's simply magnified and looked at on another platform such as YouTube, you can't be blaming the creator for that. It's like with certain people with threatening messages from the past and the name calling and stuff, and they say, oh my god, this is old news. Oh, you're trying to minimise it like Jack Newton and the argument with Noah at the party, minimising it. Oh, because it's in the past, it doesn't matter now, it's not that important. Doesn't matter when it happened, it happened. And there was some form of intent to do it, and there was a mindset to think of that in the first place, and to say this and that, and to type this and that, right? Not good luck, is it? People don't always present themselves in the best way, but that's their own doing and at times their own choice. Sometimes they might be incapable of making a choice. Sometimes they might be out of control, like psychologically not in the right frame of mind, and that's very unfortunate. But, you know, in other cases where people have, to an extent, of sound mind and how they present themselves in a negative or toxic way, that's their own doing. They can't be blaming other people for the way they act themselves. But anyway, let's just see the responses. I didn't even know that there was one. It's okay, there's so many pages, it's overwhelming. Only one I'll stick with is this one. There are so many pages about Noah Presgrove, it's overwhelming. Is it really that way? I've not really seen any. All I've seen is Justice for Noah and Noah Presgrove's Army, the real one. That's it. They're the main ones. I've not really seen any others, with the exception of Sofa Sleuth, but that's a bit dodgy anyway, how it's switched and changed. Anyway. Same here. I had no idea there were more than one, but I just unjoined the Army for Noah group run by Justin Roy. That is the one Victor is talking about. Why does everyone keep referring to Justin Roy as the be-all and end-all of that Facebook page? Because it's not just Justin Roy a part of that page. What about the other admins? Or does that just get neglected about? But I guess if the general theme and distaste is towards Justin, people are going to focus in on Justin only, like a witch hunt. Are there many pages? Others run by family? Not from the looks of it, no. The one in the pic isn't ran by Justin Roy. Oh, low battery, not good. That's the other Army page. I thought I was so confused. I know Justin Roy is trying to help. Thank you, that's good to know. I wanted to be sure. All I really know is that the group is a family's group, so for me, that's the only group that's relevant. Group pics ran by Justin. What I'm interested to know is, well, some of the family members and the yes men, yes women audience that just nod their heads like slaves, that don't suddenly see eye to eye with Justin Roy or the page in general of the Army one. What does Caden Pressey think? What does Alicia Lee think? What do these in-between key individuals think of what's going on? I'm interested. Yeah, 3 others, yeah. Oh no. Michael Facecast, Shannon Scott, Dusty Butler, Justin Roy, the admins of the page. That's what that screenshot basically is. Leaving this group and was over part of other Victor, my husband said, if you want, whatever. Let's move on. Linda says, I'm out. Prayers, hugs, and we love you, Victor. What does that mean? I'm out of the Army page? I mean, take in mind, the Justice page has 32,000 members. The Army page has 6.8k. There's a great difference in size and numbers, which isn't good for the Army page if 32,000 people are all in agreement with Victor, let's just put it that way. That's not exactly the case statistically, but if it was, it's definitely an imbalance, isn't there? Anyway, what else do we have? Nathan says, I got booted from there months ago because I didn't agree with them. But whilst that might be the case, Nathan, and that would be unfortunate, it appears that there are other people on the Army page that were booted off from the Justice page for disagreeing on something or asking a question. So from all sides, you could interpret it as very petty, but is that being ignored? Kerry says, me too. I was obviously blocked because they didn't even show in my search. I searched to double check. Is there a possibility that because pages have gone private, people were kicked off in other ways? Lynn says, me too. Lynn's been blocked because they don't like it if you have a different opinion than they do. And I told someone off for bashing the family. Next thing I knew, I was blocked from the group. It's interesting, Lynn Weston, because I've done videos which could be considered very unpopular but realistic, which go against other people's ideas and, you know, because I cover different perspectives, you know, I can be considered the black sheep of cases at times. I am turned into the villain at times, and yet at the end of the day, I wasn't blocked, I wasn't kicked. So why was I okay, but other people aren't? A bit weird. There was only one place that I got kicked off from and blocked at the time. That was on Reddit on the Noah Presgrove Deep Dive page. Not the main Reddit one, but an alternative one, which is by Just Chemist. I think their name's called Anita or Nita on Facebook, and they blocked me from that page because of drama and conflict. Simply because I was attacked, discredited, maybe some slander as well, and I simply defended myself as a standalone video, which I believe wasn't posted on the Reddit page either. It was a standalone video doing my own thing. And then the admin, or whatever you want to call them, Just Chemist, I believe it's Just Chemist, that's their name. Apologies if I got it mixed up with someone else's name. But ended up saying, you're out of here, ref. The drama, the conflict. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to defend myself. Yeah, if I ever do get raped in the future, I'll just say, yes, daddy, please. I'm not gonna complain. Get real. You need to get real. Jesus, what is going on with humans? Jesus, do I need to turn into the priest? I need to get the holy water out. Things need cleansing. You should sue. Oh no. Thomas says, you should sue Justin Roy for defamation, sir. I got off that page 3 months ago. Have you got answers for your family and son soon? Why should Justin Roy get done for defamation? Do we have examples of that? No amount of victim shaming is going to change the facts. I've stopped reading the post on those pages a long while ago because they seem all over the place and I get lost and confused. What, new people coming on in and discussing things from the past or bringing up questions? That's confusing. Valentina Ilya, Mr. Presgrove, I'm sorry for your pain, but in all fairness, Justin Roy did not bash anyone. He was defending himself after harsh words were said to him here. And the Army Page has contributed a lot for Noah. I'd like you to answer all the comments in both groups for the past 2 days, but many were deleted. Please don't make quick judgments. Such division is terrible. Interesting form of reasoning by Valentina. Seems by a reasonable individual. Victor says, if you have a problem, come see me. That sounds threatening. What is it with all this threatening language? Liz Porter, oh my God, what's going on? Why is Noah's family so upset? Melanie, I'm confused about this. What's going on? Complete mess. Gabby Torres, I believe it's because someone makes a horrible post about the family claiming the Noah Presgrove Army cares more about Noah because they want to do something on the anniversary of his death. What? I don't remember seeing that. Tim, respect Noah's father's wishes. I'm sure he had his reasons. Get behind Noah's family, people. If you want to be supportive, get behind his family. His father, sister, his aunt, cousin, his grandmother, we all said the same exact thing. We're even thinking, talking to his father wishes. What about Dale and Presgrove? What about Kay and Presley? What do they think? Hallie, yes, another poster personally attacked Robin and Ashley, saying some outlandish and awful things. Several commenters joined in agreeing and adding to it. It was atrocious. I said as much and left the group. I won't be a part of hate mongering the family. It's despicable. That's why Madison has now posted a video on her addressing what was said about Robin and Ashley on the other page. Well, we'll get to that eventually, won't we? 100% audacity of some people is nuts. I mean, if humans misunderstand me, they're simply a lost cause, non-negotiable, because I try my best with language and wording more than other people, and if people don't understand it or misinterpret it, lost cause, really nothing can be done about it, right? Right. Moving on. Leanne, really? How so? Because all I've ever seen Justin Roy or any admin on there is good. Has someone... What the hell? Let's make sense of this. Victor says, are you talking to me? Once again, defensive. Sherry, same. I've never seen Justin Roy say a bad word towards the family. I've actually been wondering for some time why Justin had become so quiet. Lots of others on there stirring the pot, but I just don't see Justin doing that. I know some of us knows all what's going on. Thomas says, not my place to point a finger. I'm just going to support Noah's father and respectfully do exactly as asked. So it's not your place to point a finger, but weren't you the one further up that was ordering Victor to sue Justin Roy for defamation? What? That's a bit hypocritical. Dedra, interesting name. My son Josh worked with you for a short time and he said you need anything, let him know. He has your back. Victor, do you have a problem with me? Who's that in response to? Vanessa, I'm not from there, so I can't speak on what's happening in the town, but I'm an investigator in my state and I have tons of behavioural training, plus I do tons of volunteer work. Right. I think Justin being louder than anybody seems as if he took an opportunity to be known. I feel like nobody should speak on missing or deaths at his magnitude without family approval. I'm not going to say that Justin hasn't helped in anything, because I'm sure he has. I personally like Dusty's way of handling things, but Justin gives me vibes where this is not completely genuine and just an opportunity for him to be known out of the town. Oh boy. Unrequested opinion. As just an outsider who wishes nothing but justice and positive vibes for everyone, yet your vibes and attitude towards Justin is of a slightly negative undertone, which is a bit of hypocrisy, contradiction. It's what I mean. People can pull out degrees and expertise out the rear end, but then they end up contradicting themselves anyway down the line. It's very worrying that the human race, the way they present themselves, fully grown adults may have families, may not, or more so do. Certain roles, responsibilities in life, and whilst they might be successful, well, they might be rich or rich in social connections or rich with family or love, at the end of the day, their attitudes and behaviours, it leaks online, and then you see the true humans and what they can be like. It's very, very worrying, because so often people will say to you, in real life it's better. In real life, all kinds of people around, yeah, make the most of it. Yeah. But in real life, face-to-face, people can be cowards. Online, people can show their true self, which is cowardly in its own way. But, face-to-face, people may not say everything like the same way as they do online, because online they can get away with it. Online they can be a bit more reckless, less, less responsibility or less consequences, so you can be more reckless. So what you see in real life, whilst that's considered better, it might not be as genuine as to what you see online in certain circumstances where people can show their true colours. But to maintain that full balance, people can, of course, put the argument across and say, yeah, but in other ways, other themes, people online can be whoever, whatever they want. So they could portray themselves in a fake way, their name, their face, the usage of filters to make themselves look better in appearance. But in real life, when you see them face to face, they look like a bloody mangled fish. Deceiving, being deceived, it's not nice. But it comes in different ways. So online, it can be bad and problematic. In real life, it can be bad and problematic. Right? What else? Thomas, you couldn't have said it any better. Completely agree with that. Oh, interesting. I'm so very sorry. Jalen, I absolutely love your family and especially your demeanour, and I just want to thank you. But yes, I got kicked off the Army Page group, also along with thousands of other people. If they argued with Justin or did not follow the narrative, then we all got kicked off. When I first joined this, I really thought it was going to be all about love and support and trying to find real answers for your family. I do feel a lot of the people have really got true heart in the place. Interesting, very interesting. Because this person's saying that they got kicked, but if I'm correct in saying, I'm sure I saw Jalen's comment earlier. I know, maybe that was still on the Justice page. Forget about that. Robin Smith, please refer to Maddie's video. Madison Rawlings. We'll get to that. We'll definitely get to that in a separate video where there needs to be more focus. She amazed me every day. Okay. Noah Presgrove's Army, the fake page, and then the top one being the real one. Right. Done. I'm confused. Okay, what's going on here? I've never read that Justin has wrote or been disrespectful. Tamila agrees. Most of us are. Stephanie Bacon. There was a post on the Army Page a couple of days ago after Ashley's post on here acknowledging that Justin was great and was mistreated by the family. That's by Vanessa Salazar, in case you're wondering, she posted that, in which she stated she would do something for Noah, not just sit around and live life, whilst several commenters came on talking smack about Noah's family. Reason why I wrote my post on here about people grieving differently. I mean, I've acknowledged that myself, grieving differently. Everyone has their own things and people do things privately in the background. Don't need to make a big song and dance about it publicly. But this is what I mean. The reasonings behind this fallout, it's not clear. It's not given from the start. So people are trying to make sense of it along the way and pick the pieces up. It's really, really abysmal, the organisation of these discussions and threads, right? A range of people have called out the Army Page for being disruptive or problematic or all over the place and confused. This one bloody comment thread of this post by Victor, people seem to be confused. What does that say? Context, clarity, if only it could have been provided from the beginning of this conversation, discussion. Right. The donations for Deborah Vaux was a nice gesture, which I donated to, whatever that is. Missed a lot. Vanessa, done. I support the family, so it's your wish I left. Right, so whatever they tell you to do, you will do and nod your head. So what? If a person next time around says, everybody, if you care about Noah, jump off a bridge right now or run into oncoming traffic. Are people honestly going to do it? It really wouldn't surprise me. That's when you know it's almost on a cult-like basis and as a form of brainwashing and emotional manipulation. That's not good. How vulnerable are the audience? How vulnerable is the community? In the Dylan Rounds case, there was a great amount of vulnerable people that were easily controlled and swayed and sided in certain directions as to who they support, what they do next, controlled attacks, talking behind people's backs, feeling pressured into making decisions they don't want to do. And it makes me think these are fully grown adults with certain jobs, roles, responsibilities and families, and they go about day-to-day life like how? Because online they seem very submissive and easily controlled and vulnerable. Are they like that in real life, or is there a different side to them? That's what makes it very worrying. Because I remember in the Dylan Rounds case, you had lots of nurses and people in the medical field. And I'm thinking some of those people were easily controlled, manipulated, or had a toxic side to them. What are they like in real life? Just imagine if you were getting treatment from them. You woke up in a hospital bed. You see them and think, oh shit, I'm screwed. I'm probably going to get killed off next. Bloody hell. What's going on? Right. Please refer to Madison's video. What's going on? Talk. What does that mean? Victor says talk. Who talks, though? Please explain what Justin has lied about. I see a few people have asked the same question, but no answers. Robin Smith says, please refer to Maddie's video. So supposedly, Madison Rawlings' video clears everything up. Well, we'll get to that in a separate video. How interesting. Laura, I did see a lady on the other group bashing the family yesterday. Her first name was Tiffany. I think the comments were pulled though. I've seen people in both groups get mean and hateful. I just hope and pray this comes to an end soon. The lady was way out of line. I was glad they pulled the post. Robin Smith, that group, Noah Presgrove's Army, has post approval on. So the bashing post were approved by the admins. The admins were asked multiple times to remove the post, and their response was no. They were finally removed when the partners in true crime reached out to Justin and insisted he remove them. Ah, is this the whole backstory behind Victor Presgrove and what he's saying in the moment? See, this is what I mean. If people have a go at me with this video and say, you should know better, Raf, you've gone after Victor, you've gone after Robin, you've been nasty, you've been negative, just understand that the bloody context behind all this has only been mentioned now when it should have been mentioned in the first place in the original post, and that was not provided. So, what was read earlier on in this video was a raw reaction leading up to now. So on the basis that this is true, there's a bit more context and understanding behind why people may be frustrated with certain people of other pages, right? But the context wasn't provided earlier on in this video. It's taken this time to get to it. Do you get what I'm saying? I hope people don't misinterpret this video in the wrong way. And if anyone does, as a witness to this channel, anybody watching right now and anyone in the background, you can always relay it on to others if things go downhill and people misunderstand, okay? You're welcome to do that. But Did I cover these posts yesterday or whenever it was? Was it Vanessa Salazar? Was it Tiffany, where they were talking about the situation with Justin being attacked, the attitude by certain family members, some feeling shocked that family members don't care enough for the petition. Things like that may trigger a response in other ways. Okay, fair enough. Being ordered to remove posts or take them down. See, this is the thing. You've got 3 or 4 admins. One could approve it. The other 3 may not see it in time. All it takes is one admin to approve a post. So it doesn't mean say all 3 or the remainers are just as bad. They may have not had the time to approve it at the time someone else did. And by the time it was approved, the admins didn't have to approve it. But people think that when one admin approves it, all admins approve it. That's not always the case. So let's just make that very clear. So there's no confusion. But it's very interesting if it's true that partners in true crime, people that have gone dark in between because of working in the background and verifying stuff, that they had to reach out to the Facebook page and Justin for it to be removed. That's very interesting. Is that why, of all people, partners in true crime? Because they play a big role in this case. They hold a lot of important information and evidence, and they feel that whatever's going on the Army page could be detrimental to the case, and that's why they decide to reach out and say, can you take it down? Well, that's very interesting. Jamie says to Robin Smith, I deleted the group tonight. Why do people say I deleted the group? You don't delete a group. If you deleted the group, then that group would no longer exist on the platform. You don't have control or power to that. You're not an admin. You're not a creator. What Jamie means here is that she left the group, opted out. It's like with when people on the Dylan Rounds case on YouTube, where people kept saying, I don't have a channel. I don't have a channel. So what do you think you're using then to comment on the videos, you plum? What is it with humans from the past? Still to this day, it reminds me because of the sheer idiocracy at the time. When it comes to YouTube, and this isn't unrelated to what Jamie says here, but it just kind of indirectly reminds me of other stuff from the past. If you're going to leave comments on YouTube, you need to have a YouTube channel. It can be an empty one, it can be a default profile. But you need a Google account which links to YouTube to set up a YouTube account, which is an actual channel, which then enables you to be able to sign in under a certain username of a profile to then leave comments on certain videos. Because if you don't have a channel, you don't have an account, you can watch videos on YouTube, but you can't save them, you can't comment, and you can't interact, and you can't upload videos. It's that simple, but why do humans not understand? Anyway, moving on. Pam. Is this the Pam that said Warlike Ref talks too slow? Maybe. Well, we'll read it very quick. I'm not in the grip anymore. You always seem very positive if you say anything. 366 sold. There you go. Is that? Oh, shit. I'm sorry. That was too slow, wasn't it? I'll have to speed up next time. Laura, I was wondering why would it have been allowed in the first place, yet I made a comment about the state of Oklahoma dragging their feet on this case and it was denied. All kinds of odd things going on, isn't there? Tamila, having gone through a similar situation, there's a lot I don't know, but everything I have personally seen from the likes of Justin has been to get justice. Right, so it's basically been positive towards Justin there. But what do people think? Dylan, if anyone has the right to bicker about anything to do with his son or his case, Victor Moore deserves the right to do so. Just because you haven't seen anything recently doesn't mean it hasn't happened. I understand you've gone through similar circumstances, but there's a lot more going on behind the scenes. And if that is truly the case, you can understand why certain family members may feel and act the way they do, but you can't expect the general public to be in total agreement when the general public haven't seen the evidence of what's going on in the background. People can be sceptical. People can be uncertain. You shouldn't be demonised for that. Because if it's allowed when it comes to those within the case who tell a certain story or say that they've got a timestamp which counters Caden's timeline, this and that, but they don't actually provide hard-hitting, solid evidence and clarity behind it, so all you can do is be sceptical of it, and they take it as an insult. You take it as an insult, back it up in the first place then. So it's like with the Justin Royce situation. If there's like all kinds of trouble going on in the background, you can't expect the general public to believe in it like completely because they've not seen the evidence themselves. You just go along with it and say, okay, I believe in what you say. It just sounds a little bit submissive once again. High expectations. Unrealistic. I've never been a member of the page, but under the circumstances, I don't feel comfortable being on any page. So why do we on this page then? Victor Presgrove, please explain what Justin has lied about, and there is no response. So it doesn't help, does it? I got the boot from there, not allowed to have my own opinion in the group. And Jalen says they were kicked as well. I wouldn't know these people because I've not seen them before. I've not been booted from the page, and I've given alternative... Well, let's be honest. Probably one of the reasons why I've not been booted from the page, you could say, is because I don't leave comments on the page. I think when joining or something, or when applying to join when it was private, I said the page is of great use. It's valuable at the time to learn from and understand. I'm not an active participator, but I research along the way and then apply that and credit it, give credit, and then do my own videos and coverage. Does that make sense? I was quite honest about that with the admins, and they said that's perfectly fine, that's okay, you've got access to the posts and stuff. And then certain admins or certain people along the way repost or reshare my videos onto the page, which could help with further discussions. That's my way of doing it. Maybe if I was like these people where they're commenting directly on the page with unpopular opinions, who knows what it could lead to. But because of just about everything that I do and say is on my channel on YouTube, people don't have power over me there in that way. It'd only be YouTube. People may have tried to take me down before and try and silence me. Didn't work. But if I was to do it elsewhere and be active or talk and give unpopular opinions, the chances of maybe some kind of backlash could be higher when you go onto a page that you're not in control of. On my channel, I'm in control of my own channel. So I can say and I can do what I want within reason, without as much consequences. So that's probably why my experience differs to people's here who've had negative outcomes. Scotty says, Justin Royce started questioning me about a dove hunt. Oh no. This reminds me of a video that was supposed to be done. Well, actually, maybe we can do it at some point just for the context and the backstory. I don't know if Justin Roy will see this, but I do remember seeing a screenshot. I wouldn't answer because he said it was suspicious that I wouldn't answer him. He did this to two of the people within the same thread. I wasn't in Oklahoma last year from June to November. He even admitted on that podcast that he was being too aggressive. He's just a jerk and a liar. But by not cooperating or communicating, it led to a negative outcome. I wonder what would have happened if Scotty was honest and just gave a simple response. Maybe it wouldn't have led to such issues. Tori, if someone would speak up and come clean, all the nonsense would go away. Dun, dun, dun. Sadly, I hope... And Jacqueline says, sadly, I hope someone stays on all pages and reads all comments that's necessary, which is why it's hard with so many groups. Done. So the people asking why. I don't think Mr. Presgrove owes anyone an explanation, but you shouldn't expect the general public to just nod their heads and go along with it. If there's no context, if there's no backstory, it doesn't help. But, as we saw a bit earlier on by Robin Smith and Noah Presgrove agreeing with it, is that supposedly there was some post in recent time on the Army page, approved of supposedly by certain admins, and not taken down immediately when requested, and that got up on people's backs because some of the posts were critical of the family, supposedly. Okay. So many are confused and probably did not see a very hateful post directed to the family on the Army page. I did not get to screenshot it and it's already been deleted. The F word was thrown towards the family several times in the post. It said the family did not appreciate the efforts, etc. It was a very long rant. It specifically targeted Ashley and Robin and claimed they were not even the immediate family. Oh yeah, we saw that one, didn't we? A day or two ago. It was documented on my channel. Michelle, I was kicked out there months ago for being rational. I'm so sorry you're having to deal with the BS. Is there any more comments? I don't know. Right. Oh my God, there's so many, isn't there? Christy, I would report the page and see if you can get it shut down. Wow. So a place for certain truths and discussions to be silenced. I mean, with good can come bad, I understand, but it's like that implication of you take away the bad some of the good gets taken too. It'd be an unfortunate situation. If anyone wants to pause the video, you can. Apologies if this video is long, but look at all the comments. It needs to be acknowledged. Aware of it, I thought. Didn't we see that, though? Wrong. Yeah, we've seen all that. Well, that appears to be it there. I've reached the bottom of the comments. 200 comments to get through. So in general, most people aren't too happy with the army page, and most people have moved away. It'll be interesting to see how many members remain on the army page. Give or take a few days. It's at 6.8k at the moment. It could go down. I guess time will tell, but let me just conclude on this situation right now. So as the story starts to come out, some of the pieces are filled in, whether that be for the right or the wrong reasons. Initially, when Ashley Chadwick did that TikTok video, I don't know if people interpreted it as a negative take with my video, but I did look at both sides. That Ashley, originally, her response to not signing the petition, and even Robin, is because it's not worth getting hopes up, not worth pulling through with it or pushing it, because the actual outcome is worthless from their knowledge. But you got someone like Justin Roy that says it can lead up to 5 years. It's not going to cause double jeopardy. It's its own charge. It can take people away, and then it can begin the process of more justice and new leads and, you know, more urgency to get on with stuff. But there's a bit of a divide there. But I looked at it from both sides. That is it that they don't think it's worthwhile? It's worth the time because it'll be a slap on the wrist, and because people like that have gotten away in the past with stuff, slap on the wrist, it'll be no different. And if some are very protective of the case and they don't want to make any mistake or harm anything or cause any trouble whatsoever, they might be very reluctant to sign this or sign that. Okay, but from what's been said, Madison Rawlings, Dalen Presgrove, some cousins and whoever else, and an uncle approve of the petition. That was said by, was it? Well, I don't know who it was. Was it said by Michael, or was it just said by whoever behind that petition, Concerned Citizens, if that's what the name of the thing was, on change.org, to highlight that certain family members do approve of that petition. And then after that scenario, we looked at elsewhere, the Justin Roy situation, which I guess is a standalone thing, which has been going back and forth. If it has been going on in the background in the past, and it's only surfaced to the surface layer to the general public right now, it's quite fresh to us, but not for those involved back then. I said, my analysis of Justin Roy is limited because it's mainly positive. I've not seen a negative or dark side to Justin Roy. I can't give like a full analysis just because I've not been around since day one and I've not seen what goes on in the background. That's just being honest, okay? There's a time and place where you can do a full analysis when you see the good side and the bad side of someone. But if you don't see the bad side, whether they've got one or not, or it's just because you've only been around for a small amount of time, you're not going to know the full picture. I mean, like a microcosm of today with trying to understand what Victor was getting at, wanting people to leave that army page. Just in general, on the basis that you've got an informal page, which can be very helpful and good within a case, but here and there you might get a post which could be considered a little bit negative or hateful or critical with the wrong language and wording, so it could be interpreted in a bad way. Certain family members or others could feel betrayed by it and think, how dare you say that? And then feel more betrayed or hurt by certain key individuals that have approved of it. So I can understand the disappointment and frustration there. Boiling point on top of what may have already happened or still ongoing. I get that, but all I would say is, not just the army page, but anywhere else, there are a range of different people that are strongly opinionated or have some very strong words, statements and lines to use, to the point where it's leaked over, where some people have demanded that I come to a conclusion right here, right now, that they demanded that I say who is truly responsible. Doesn't work like that. It's like people are forcing me to state something in a reckless way because they're reckless themselves. Just not a good look. And I'm not being specific to anyone, I'm just saying in general, because I have seen the theme with time where people just outright say Jack's responsible or outright say Avery's responsible. And it's just like really abrupt and really bold. I mean, people might be very passionate or people may be very confident in what they think or what they know, but it's just the way it's worded. It's very abrupt and it can come across as very reckless. And with all these different cases, you got to be very careful what you say and how you word stuff, or it can definitely backfire and people can come after you. I'd know about that when people have tried to with me, and I've just simply said, well, rewind the video, look at the description, look at the title, appropriate language and wording used. You need to reflect on it. So there's that. In terms of coming full circle or trying to maintain balance, you might not be able to do that directly within one video itself, such as this one. But all I'll say in general, from one perspective, it's understandable if you're not quite familiar with everything and you don't know what's going on in the background. You could be shocked and surprised as to how Justin Roy has been treated. Out of nowhere, at least to the surface level. It seems just wild. Then from the other perspective of family members who are getting to that anniversary, so it's going to be a bad time anyway, emotional. The emotions, the senses are heightened, more intense, maybe reacting more than usual. Just bad timing, all this going on, more intensified. Could have been conducted better from all different parties if it wasn't around the anniversary, you could argue. But still, it'll be interesting to see what happens after the anniversary when things settle, the dust settles. Does it go back to normal or is there still tension in the air? But, you know, all I can do is apply this to the Dylan Rounds case on the basis that the family, whether that be immediate or just family-related members, if they do say step down, step back because you're harming the case, you probably should step down, step back. In a situation with Noah Presgrove, that's not exactly the case. It's more so cool off. Not walk away, but just cool off a bit. And if you don't, and you keep pushing and pushing, you can understand why family could react negatively. And I'm just talking in general, because I'm basing it more so off the Dylan Rounds case. There were certain individuals like Lance Kelly, Ty Corbin, locals at the time, searching the area for Dylan Rounds. Obviously that would be considered a good thing. Not everybody saw it that way. But in the end, Candice Cooley was saying how, you know, people need to step away, don't be searching in those areas, don't be harming it because it could contaminate evidence, it could disrupt evidence, and it could impact negatively our private searches in the background as a family with the police and stuff. So maybe Ty, maybe Lance took it as an insult and a middle finger towards them from like what the mother Candice Cooley had to say. But, you know, it's one of those things where you work with the devil or not, try and put things aside for a greater outcome, which is getting the best outcome for Noah, best outcome for Dylan at the time, stepping aside, but that didn't happen. That it just led to backlash, basically, when the family said, you know, Jim Terry, you need to step down, you need to get away, or Ty Corbin, Lance Kelly, you need to step down, stop doing it, stop searching, stop going out there. It led to Lance Kelly and Ty Corbin doing video responses and actually going back out there separately at the time, doing their own searches, pushing on and on and on, which annoyed Candice Cooley even further. So sometimes when you don't respect the wishes of the family, depending on the person who they are, it could encourage them to push even harder than they were before. Then that doesn't do much good for the family either. And then that makes them annoyed even more. With the Noah Presgrove case, I've not seen Justin that active as much as maybe like some people have said that Justin was more vocal in the past and then with time he went quieter and quieter. Does that correlate to being told to cool off with this case? But are the same levels and precautions are taken to other people out there besides Justin Roy, who might be very passionate about the case, who are very vocal? Do they get told to cool off as well, or is it just only Justin? I mean, what about Stevie Howard doing a lot of talking, or Sarah Long at times, and Jack with the stories changing? Are they told off for being too full on in the case? I guess if Justin Roy was younger and a party goer, I bet people would be more lenient towards him and say, you know, you've got the right to talk and go on because you were there yourself. I think that's probably what would happen. You get a free pass. If you're a party goer, if you're a witness at the time, you get a free pass to talk as much as you want. That's what it seems to be. So if Justin Roy isn't a party goer, what gives him the right to talk so much? Because he's connected to Noah as a friend from the past, right? That his son was with Noah in the past, wrestling, helping one another out, wrestling practice, right? A bit of proximity. But what about the event itself? How relevant is Justin Roy to the Noah Presgrove case, the event at the party? Just to reiterate, in case people don't know, Partners in True Crime interviewed Justin, and Justin basically said that he had family of family, some of which married into the Milan family, and his family of family were actually down at the party. Now, as for names of individuals and people of Roy's family, that wasn't mentioned. As for ages, that wasn't mentioned. Would they be of the right age to be able to speak out themselves then? Because at least from how it's gone about is Justin Roy could be considered as relaying on information from what he's been told from his own family of family that were there at the party as witnesses. Now, if it came directly from the horse's mouth, would people be more lenient towards Justin Roy if Justin Roy's family of family witnesses spoke out themselves? I don't know. But just wanted to fill that in because obviously, if a person talks a lot and is very vocal, are they in a position to be doing so in the first place? And that's just in general what you could ask yourself. Within the Dylan Rounds case, there's a range of people doing a lot of talking and they weren't even from the area. And they had a bit of a negative tone to the voice. And it's like, how do you know? How do you know this? How do you know that? You know, when you get those so-called experts, I mean, you might get some exceptions along the way. But so, at the end of the day, messy time, not the right timing at all with what's coming up, but at least here it needs to be documented to compare, contrast to the future when looking back, because you never know what may happen in the future. There's any more twists and turns, but let's leave it there for now. If this video is a bit too long and the file size, I might reduce the video quality just so I can actually post it. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye for now.